Drag shots, if you're not practicing them, it's something we should be doing, so let's go over it right now, team. Hey guys, welcome back to the Sweet Science. Today we're going to talk about drag rolls. They are a very good defensive counter. They require a few key skills. It's done off of a roll, which we've covered in a previous video. So let's look at how we're going to set this one up. So essentially a drag shot is where I'm going to roll and drag this shot through. Particularly if someone's throwing a right hand at myself, I'm going to go underneath that shot and pull that hook to the body. So key skills we're going to use today for this drill. We're going to use a jab. We're going to use a roll. We're going to use a hook. And we're also going to use a bit of footwork as well. So when we're doing this drag roll, we already know how to roll. Okay, so it's a slip, level change, draw a U shape with your eyes. All we're essentially doing is bringing our right hook out the same position we would have as a right hook to the head, but it's on the bottom of the U shape. If you notice, my heel is lifting and I'm bringing my hip and shoulder through. A lot of people, when they first do this, they stick their bum out backwards and kind of push the shot there. Nope. On the bottom of the U shape so you can complete that cycle. Heel lifts, hip comes through, which helps you deliver the power and set the cycle. So let's go over these key skills in one swift movement. So let's put these key skills together then. We'll go through it stage by stage. So first thing is the jab, but we need a good stance to begin with. It is your foundation after all. So toe heel align, feet 45 degrees, knees soft, hands up, chin down, elbows tight, bladed stance, don't be too square. So our jab, we have covered this in a previous video, but if you've missed it, don't flare the elbow. Don't turn the hand over too tight, don't push the punch, don't lean forwards. It's a pull from that shoulder. This hand stays on your chin. As you rotate, this shoulder comes up into your chin. So there's your jab. We're then going to initiate a roll. So we're going to go jab and a roll. So we're rolling to our left if you are a right-hander. We've also looked at footwork going up the diagonal line. A movement step and a recovery step. Okay, so we're going to go jab, initiate the roll and go up the diagonal line. So here's what that would look like so far. Jab, initiate the roll, 2 steps up the diagonal line. Jab, initiate the roll, 2 steps up the diagonal line. On the way through, we're going to put this hook to the body. Jab, initiate the roll. 2 steps up, first foot goes, hook comes as the second foot comes in. Jab, roll, step, right hand comes as the right foot lands. So you notice I'm closing the distance slightly on there. I'm going up and over. And there's the hook on the end. 1, drag shot with footwork and hook on the end. Don't forget the weight transfer on the bottom of that. Step 1, roll. Step 2, weight transfer on the hook from there. So there's a few key skills to get this one right. Take your time, work through that, and we'll put it into some more shadow boxing. So once you have those key stages down and you want to start bringing it to the next level, which would be shadow boxing, remember this is an in-range punch. What a lot of people do when they're practicing this, they have their good start, they do their first step on the jab because I was too far away. I'm doing a closed distance jab. This is an in-range punch. So what a lot of people do, they do that, and as they're rolling, that foot goes, my stance is too wide, it's broken. So you might want to, when you're working in shadow boxing, start with that. 2 steps in, movement, recovery. Now I'm just, don't forget your head movement. It's not good to just be here when you're shadow boxing, head movement all the time, thinking about your defense. And start putting it into some live time. Work that couple of rounds, just going through all the motions, all of the details, work some defense. And play around with it, but all of the key skills need to be in for you to be able to work this successfully before we take it to the bag. First thing to avoid when you're doing your bag drill with this particular combo is being too close to begin with, because we're working from a jab, we're doing our key skills, we're making sure that we can go from long range to mid-range. You could do this just from mid-range, of course you could be here on your bag, of course you could. But we're layering up our key skills. So first things first, make sure you're not jabbing like this. This is not a jab. I'm going to get overhand righted from here all day long. Here's your jab. And of course now, this is why we have to initiate our step to get through to the different range. So make sure you are at the correct range. And then you can just take it slowly, jab, step, initiate roll, hook to the body, hook to the head, weight transfer to the back foot. Once you're getting comfortable with that, add a little bit more speed to it. Take your time with it. I've been doing this a long time. I know that was reasonably quick for an old man like myself. But take your time, build it up from there, and we'll talk about exiting as well in the next section. So, taking this to another level for you then, something you ought to start thinking about is what we call the 3 E's. Entry, execution, and exit. Everything should have an entry, an execution, and an exit to stay as safe as you can. So obviously that drill didn't have an entry, we was in range to begin with. How we could take that to another level, with stuff we've already done, is a movement step and a recovery step off of the first jab. So we're on the edge of range, movement and recovery. Now I'm in range, throw the jab, now close the distance. So here's my execution. I'm just going to execute a push out to finish. So we've got entry, execution, exit. We could of course put a pivot step in, we haven't covered that, that'll be in another video very soon. Entry, execution, exit. Everything we do should have those 3 E's behind them. Entry, execution, and exit. Otherwise you tend to just stay in the pocket, and that's when you get bombs start landing on you. Entry, execution, exit, with a nice, safe, long guard. So let's take that to the bag and see what that looks like as well. So, same drill with the 3 E's. So now I'm out of range. I'm going to enter, execution, exit. Okay, out of range, movement step, recovery step, execution, first step for the roll, second step with the hook, push out, jab to finish. I want to take your time with it. Out of range. Get a little bit quicker. and keep working those entries, executions and exits to take that to the next level. So setting traps to make this happen, i.e. I want to draw out your right hand. Okay, so I'm in range. I'm going to occupy your left hand. I'm going to start jabbing at your left hand, making sure I'm blocking the traffic coming down that lane. So the only option you have is really to throw that right hand. When I do this, I'm back foot heavy. If you notice, here's my sort of main boxing stance. When I'm occupying that lane, I'm a little bit back foot heavy because I want him to punch to come around past my lane 2. I want to be a little bit in my head in lane 3 as I see that hand coming. That's when I'm going to initiate my roll underneath and come back. Setting traps. You imagine, say you are setting this trap. If you're constantly just jabbing, not hard, I'm not trying to really hit your hand. I am lifting my elbow and I'm occupying that lane. So imagine you're throwing just little touch jabs at this hand. I can't really get that hand out or anything. I'm busy. I'm probably going to try and time that jab and throw that shot over the top. That's setting a trap. So another way you could practice that on the bag is just go a little bit back foot heavy, occupy that lane. Imagine when that right hook comes or that overhand right. And as you see it coming in your mind, step, step, and don't forget to exit from there. It's a good thing to think about setting traps. How do you draw out the punch that you want to come at you? I make you throw it. I don't just go, Jedi mind skills. I occupy the lane I don't want you to throw. As you throw, that's when the counter attack comes in. So setting traps is something else for you to think about as well, team. So guys, let's just quickly review all of the key skills that we need to complete this drill. Obviously we need our stance and foundation, but we need a good jab. We need a step-step jab, so closing the distance. We also need a roll, slip and a roll. We also need our diagonal line footwork. It's not horizontal, it's going up the diagonal line. We also need this drag shot, which is it's called the drag shot because we're dragging it through. Please don't underthink this when you get to your bag and just stick your bum out, which I see so often. It is the roll, and on the bottom, that heel turns from there. When that's put with the step, the first step goes as I'm initiating the roll. Back foot comes in as that hook lands, and of course we've got our 3 on top. We've also spoke about the push out jab for our exit as well. So there's a lot of key skills to look at. Break them down, take your time, don't overthink it, just go for it nice and steady. Step, step, initiate, step, step, exit. You can put any exit on you want to, you could just move. Initiate. There's an exit, okay? There's quite a few things to think about. Don't rush into it and build bad habits. Little details count, and it's often the little details that make this one go terribly, terribly wrong, so pay attention to them. Work it stage by stage and just add a little bit of speed to it from there. So there's another drill for you to get under your belts and get your teeth into. If you have missed the videos that we've done with all the other key skills in, there is a playlist on the channel which takes you from the first video through to where we are now, obviously. But if you have missed it, I will leave a link in the description for all of the videos that you need to get those key skills sorted to help you do this combination the best you can as you continue in your boxing journey. So thanks for watching Sweet Science, and I'll see you next time, team.